interviews, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have both spoken out about the impact of social and tabloid media. But it's what they've said, I think, because, of course, we've heard them complain before. It's the language they've used this time and the specific events they're talking about, which is significant.
It's true. Meghan said that she believes that social media and tabloids should come with, get this, a cigarette-style health warning, while Prince Harry said the tabloids turn fact-based news into opinion-based gossip, which he says has devastating consequences. And now we've got royal commentator Robert Jobson, who joins us now. What do you think of this? Do you think there should be cigarette-style warnings on the news? I mean, is Susanna Reid more dangerous than fags?
Excuse me, I'm the one who speaks up for them.
I don't think Susanna's more dangerous than fags, no. But I think the reality is that this is a couple that basically went away for their privacy, and they really clearly want to make sure they're in the headlines all the time for their foundation, their charity work, and boosting their coffers. So I just don't. I mean, I think it's a bit silly, really. I mean, there's stuff about newspapers coming a health warning. Well, you pick your newspaper, you buy your newspaper. You don't have to pick up, the paper if it's free. If you don't want to, it's a matter of free choice. So I don't think they should be preaching about that. And also talking about, he's effectively saying you shouldn't be reading. I mean, I think we should be encouraging people to get as many different viewpoints and read as much as we can, actually.
OK, shall we have a listen to what Prince Harry and Meghan have been saying? Let's listen to Meghan, who was talking specifically about the effect she thinks tabloids have. We are very open, understanding and compassionate when we talk to people about their mental health issues and their past trauma. We seem to be incredibly unsympathetic and intolerant when Prince Harry tries to express the same thing. I don't understand it.
I don't really think so, Susanna. If you look at some of the reporting over the years, I think he's taken a different viewpoint, obviously, but over the years, he's been incredibly sympathetic to both him and his brother, Prince William. I simply don't agree. I mean, that was a very well rehearsed and eloquent expression, but the reality is, the press was involved in the foreign paparazzi who were outside, involved with Diana, and it's a terrible tragedy. But to say that the press killed his mother is simply not the case. It was a drunken driver, and that was ruled in a court of law. I think that he's got his viewpoint, and he's entitled to his viewpoint, and she has too. But I think to label it, the media is simply completely dishonest, is not true. It's regulated. It's the journalists, I think, do their best to get the stories correct. So a lot of the problems are created by this new industry around the media, which is to do with public relations, where a lot of people simply don't tell the truth. And I do think it sort of hurts a little bit when this couple that made up all sorts of nonsense in that Oprah interview that frankly wasn't true, was proved with people like the Archbishop of Canterbury calling them out on some of their facts. So before criticising the media, I think they need to be a little bit more honest themselves.
Robert, I don't agree with Susanna on this one, kindly and quietly. But I think, you're entitled to be wrong from time to time. In this case, I think, I don't think anybody minds them using their platform, very important platform, it would be right to say, Robert, for campaigning about mental health and all the extraordinary works, Invictus Games, fantastic. Actually, the equal pay work that the Duchess of Sussex does. I think all of that stuff matters. But I think that people at home who are struggling, what they cannot tolerate or, frankly, they will never, ever accept is the degree of hypocrisy, claiming that the tabloids are, on the one hand, terrible things, when, of course, they rely on the oxygen of that publicity. That's the first thing. Secondly, is Instagram toxic, bearing in mind the things they can do? And also, presumably, you've got an opinion, I would have thought, on the fact that he complains, probably validly, about what happened to the late Princess Diana, yet is prepared to take money from Netflix that is distorting the truth about what happened in her final days, so much so that Jemima Khan, who was an advisor on that show, has walked off. I mean, it's hypocrisy the British public can't stand, isn't it?
Well, a bit of that, Rob. I mean, the reality is with Netflix, I think the reason there, the difference is the numbers involved. I mean, we're talking multi-millions. He's not going to turn that down. The reality is it's a fictional programme, Netflix, so with the Crown, so he can argue that. But, my thing here is that, they've got a platform because of the royal family, not from any, let's be honest, Meghan Markle you know, she was a B-rated actress, or, you know, a bit above that, I suppose, before she married into the royal family. She's got a title. She's now using that title to campaign in America on political issues. Well, drop the title. Just get rid of the title. And as for Harry, you know, an army officer, served very well in Afghanistan, but would he have this platform without the royal family? A royal family that has absolutely tarnished the image of in America. And that to me irritates me, because I don't think that the Queen and the rest of the royal family certainly don't deserve the criticism that they've had. And I think that it's slightly ridiculous also some of the things that are coming out with, you know, he predicting the riots. He warned the head of Twitter to do that something should be done. Well, you know, we can all have that sort of, you know, we can all have that sort of opinion. I'm sure Meghan will vouch that, you know, he did this. But the point of it is, they just want to have this voice, the voice that's given to them by their title and their privilege. And that privilege, they've turned their backs on. So I really do have an issue with that. And also, you know, they're in litigation with the newspapers at the moment. They seem to be always in litigation. And they clearly don't like the newspapers. But, you know,
they feel sore about...
journalists are the same. I mean, you know, it's not to say that all television journalists are the same. A lot of the stories are repeated on television. I do think that the journalists do try to get it right as much as they can.
They do obviously feel very sore about the way that they are treated by the tabloid press. I personally think if they dropped the titles, they would still have the influence. I think it's a bone of contention which keeps coming up. Actually, if they dropped them, they would still be Harry and Meghan, international, high-profile celebrities, wouldn't they?
Susanna, what I'm saying is...
I understand. Sorry,
we've got to go. It's such a shame. I could talk about this all day.
I know, sorry, Robert.
I'll argue with you about it all day.
Yes, well, but we have other things to discuss.
Cannot be political. They're using royal titles to be political, and I don't think that's right.
Yeah, we can't discuss Meghan and Harry forever on this programme, although we do seem to. Robert, thank you very much indeed.
Robert.